Hey guys, Kev here, and I have some cool Compoform pieces to show you. So these seemingly look the same, right? You have Medusa on both of these. She is gearing up to mess your day up. Don't look at her. This is in blackened titanium, as far as I can tell. It's almost got like an oil slick to it. I think it has Ivan's laser treatment. These are two different versions of the same design. So you have this coin, right? But in this case, you have a haptic coin. In this case, you have a sort of tracked slider. So they're different. I haven't seen a haptic coin from Ivan before, from Compoform. I think this is really cool, but I have a pretty big gripe with it that personally doesn't work for me. With this one, it's kind of the same thing. So we're going to get into it. I got my subtly sweet tea. Let's just check some size comparisons, similar things. Here's an NJT hand power ulti coin. All right, so size comparison. By the way, these are essentially the same size. This coin's a little bit, the haptic coin's a little taller because it has the bearing in there. So I don't know if you can see it, but see if I can show you. So it's just slightly taller to fit that bearing in there. If I grab the calipers, let's just do it since you guys are probably curious. This one is 0.355 inches. This one is 0.321. So let's switch that over to millimeter. This one is 8.16, and this one 8.84. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So the coin, the haptic coin, is thicker. This is the Laugh Now, Cry Later Compoform coin. This one is 0.34 or 8.6. So let's see, what is that compared to the other? So you got a 0.4 millimeter difference, 0.323 to the Laugh Now, Cry Later. So if you like this, but it was a little too thick, maybe you might like this better. Now, this is made out of like an antiqued bronze, has those edges, but you can see it has this sort of gap in the middle of this area. This does not have that. That is because this has the plates over top, and this has exposed magnets. And I think he went to exposed to make it thinner and look a little more streamlined, which I think is nice. So let's set aside the haptic coins. We'll do that next. Let's do the track slider now. So you guys may or may not know the Laugh Now, Cry Later is one of my favorite fidgets of all time. This is I would probably put it at a top 3. The Mackie CP3, the Laugh Now, Cry Later, and then my favorite fidget of all time, the NJT hand power ulti coin. So it's really high up there. And then the Chill Pill would be like number 4 maybe. But just really wonderful to use and operate. Even with my sweaty hands, I've always been able to get the motion down and not have, the coin slipping or anything like that. This thing rode shotgun with me all the way to Atlanta one time. And for 8 hours straight, I was doing this. So absolutely love this. And this is the same exact concept. It has the ceramic ball, I believe, in there. And that acts as both a top, a really good one. This one is similar. Oops. And also spins, but not as good as you're noticing. This one seems to have a little bit of a smoother spin to it. But once I got that going, it was pretty good there. So it even kept spinning past that one. So anyway, it does that. And then it has the sort of 4 cross pattern track. and the 4 exposed magnets on each side. Now, what you do is you can just go up and down like this. You can go left and right. You can do, obviously the 4 sides, right? So I don't know how many people just do this stuff, but maybe that's a thing, going like that, up and then pop it. That could be fun, I guess. But the motion I always do is up and then rotate down. This one has knurling as well on the edges, but this one has more of the traditional coin knurling, and it catches my finger better, honestly. This one I slip a little bit more on, but I can get used to it, right? I do think this coin's a little bigger as well. You can see it sticks out around the sides. So it's thinner, but let's see. It's 1.5 inches, and this one's 1.372. So do you want to see that in millimeters? You can. Here we go. Oops. You have 38 millimeters versus 35.8, something like that. Okay. So, maybe a little different feel in hand, but honestly very similar. This is fun. Once I got it down, because I just had to mess with it. It's how most fidgets are. I have to kind of learn them. I have to give them a second. I try not to just unbox and make a video because it makes it hard. But once you get it down, it does the same kind of rotation. You can see it better on this one. When I click up, you're going to see her face, or its face is upside down. Rotate, now it's that way. Does a quarter turn every time. This is the same way. If we put Medusa facing up, pop her up, come down. Now she's sideways. Come up, down. Now she's that way, right? And she comes around. And once you get it down, you can go up and down real easy. You can also go this way. And just like the Laugh Now coin, it's a 2-step drop. So you're kind of going, doot, doot. You can try to make it go faster and do it in one click like that. But it's still kind of 2 distinct clicks because it's hitting 2 different magnets, I think, on the way down. Now, the downside with this coin, the thing that is a little unfortunate, is the feel and acoustic. So it just doesn't have a good click to it. It's just a bit thud. It's a bit of a thud. It's still good. It's still really good. It's very satisfying. That click out is very satisfying. But it doesn't have the acoustic this does. You hear it? It's got like a coin sound to it. I would say the magnets are a little stronger on this one. Slightly. It takes a little more effort to get that turn going. Where this one just wants to go with you and turn. I think part of that is this knurling is really good, and this is not as aggressive. But it's still just as easy to, once you get the hang of it. I'll occasionally pop it off track or whatever, but I do the same thing with this one. But you get into like a groove where you just don't miss sometimes, So this one's really good. I really like it. I do wish the acoustic was a little more coin-ish. I like that it's thinner, and I like the fact that the exposed magnets made that happen, but I think the downside to it is it took away from that acoustic sound, I think. Because there's less play in there for it to make noise. It kind of just drags on the magnets, right? But maybe that breaks in over time. I have not had these long. So maybe that breaks in over time and it does start to get that. I've had this for a long time and I've used the shit out of this. So, but I remember it having a great sound out of the box. But if you guys recall, this coin, I hated this when I got it. I was ready to just throw it out the window at one point. And then Pluke, who is awesome, he's the admin of the group for Compoform. He handles pretty much most of the, operation when it comes to the Facebook group sales and all that stuff. Great dude. I'd call him a friend. He was like, dude, just give it a try. You'll have the epiphany moment. He always had to, remind me with the new fidgets I got, give it a moment, let it sink in, and you'll have the moment. And I did. And that is one of my favorite fidgets of all time. So we'll see if this kind of clicks like that. But if you bought one of these, I think you're going to be happy. I think it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's very similar to this, but, different, obviously, has its own style, and definitely worth having in the collection. I think this is really cool. Will this one stick around long term? I don't know yet. I'm going to have to see how that acoustic and everything breaks in for me, because this one is just so good. It's so hard to beat. And I'm one of those people who doesn't need two of the same basically thing. I guess unless it's knives. So we'll see. But if this is the one you could get, you couldn't get this one, and this is the one you could get, I think you should be really happy, and you got a great product, and you have essentially the same thing, just some nuances are different. And some of them are better, right? The thinness, I think the aesthetic of this, oh my God. I think it definitely outdoes this one, although, if this had the Medusa faces, that would be awesome. So, yeah. So that's the tracked one. And now let's talk about the coin. Here, again, is a size comparison. It's definitely way thinner than the NJT coin. That's one of the things, people might note about these is they're bigger. They're not like a large coin, really, but, maybe like $1 size coin or $half size coin. But they're on the thicker side, I guess, for a coin fidget. But I think that's what helps it get the pop and snap that it has, Just honestly the best haptic coin, the best fidget in the game. That's why I have 10 of them. So this one does the same thing. It has inside, it has a needle bearing, and I'll show you the inside of this. It has the needle bearing, or whatever you call this, has a track, has the magnets, and then it has a connection point or pivot, basically. This one has a hole, circular hole, and then a bearing that pops into it. And that's what keeps it retained, so that when you do all this stuff, you push on the edges and whatnot, it doesn't pop apart. That is where this one falls short. And honestly, as much as I love basically everything else about this, the aesthetic, the feel in hand, the sound, the snaps, the magnets, everything, seriously, everything, as much as I love all of that, it falls short in that category, and it, for me, it makes it something that I don't think will stick around. So if you look here, you just have this little dish, and this ceramic ball sits into it. So you still have that functionality. Let me take this out. I believe we're going to find out. You still have... Kev, come on. Freaking magnets. You still have the functionality where you can use it as a top. But I don't know if he advertises that. But I think it's at the expense of the function of the coin. So this is where we get to the nitty gritty. Come on, just get in the track. Haptic coins, man. They're so finicky. So listen to this snap. Oh my God. Flip it over. You hear that? Just for reference, the best coin in the game. Sounds like a typewriter going off, doesn't it? It's amazing. Now, I have a bunch of different versions of this, and they all sound different. Duller, higher pitch. That one sounds closer to it. This just has that nice high pitch clack, doesn't it? Really cool. So I love that sound. I really do. And I think part of that is it's titanium. It's really milled out. It's got that laser treatment or whatever. So I think it just... These are deeper sounds than this. Okay? So really cool. Now, this is where we get to the downside, right? It feels so good to rotate. It has good texture. It's comfortable in the hand. It just sits in your hand really well. It's really thin. I mean, I really am loving the snap and all of that. But because of the way they did the retention with that ball sitting in that shallow pocket, it wants to come apart so quickly in my hand that I can't do what I want to do with it. Like if I spin it like this, like I do my NJT coin, look at that. It just comes right apart. If I spin it this way, right? See that? It's just falling apart. And I've sat here and I've tried to, get some kind of motion down that changes that. And I have found if you stay closer to the center, you can get it pretty well. Oh, there it goes. But if you go to the edge, really, you end up... What happens is, as it skips magnets, if you put any pressure here, it pops open. So you're popping it open constantly when you're putting pressure down on the side. So you almost have to stay in the middle of the coin, which is certainly doable. Once people get the hang of where to put their fingers on this, I think it will be way more enjoyable. But you can see I'm skipping out. Even trying to do at the center there, I'm skipping out occasionally. One of the ways that, you like to use coins is like this, right? You kind of give it a good squeeze. And it just comes apart too easy, And that really, it's a big downside. I hate to say that. I want to just praise it to the moon because I love Ivan. I love Compoform. I do so much. And I still think it's awesome. I think a lot of people, when they use coins, they do this. Right? They do slow motions. They do one click at a time, nice and soft, right? They're just pushing it till it pops. You saw even there. it jumped. Every time it jumps, it's literally popping apart and then clicking back together. So even when I'm doing it soft, it's doing it. So it sounds utterly amazing, but like I can't just do this. I love doing this. I love going this way. This is my favorite thing, I think. That feeling, that sound, all of that going this way is just amazing. I can put pressure anywhere I want on this. See, as I turn, it doesn't come apart. It doesn't. And this is one of the reasons I've sold so many haptic coins. The milk lid, the large milk lid from ACEDC, I loved it so much. But even that one, I would occasionally have it come apart on me. And that just bugs me. It's like an OCD thing. So, you can definitely learn to just, be gentle. And you'll probably get the hang of it. But what I would do is I would implore Ivan to make this again. I really would, because I absolutely love this. I mean, the build quality, the funk, it's amazing. It really is. It's probably, if it stayed together like this, it would probably be my favorite haptic coin right now. It would probably beat this because of the feel, the look, all of it, the class. But it doesn't stay together. This is just too shallow. And it's a ball going in. It's not like a flat object that's going to catch on the sides. It's a ball, so it's basically meant to kind of slot out. You know what I mean? So I really wish that, and I hope that he makes a new version where he uses like this. He uses a bearing or a post. He could just do a post instead of, I don't know how easy these things are. I'm not a machinist. So, grain of salt. But most other coins have something like that in there. A cutout that's flat, that it sits into pretty deep, right? And then this coin would be unstoppable. This would really be the best haptic coin in the game. He's got the magnet tension down. The magnet strength is so good on this. It snaps perfectly. You have just a little bit of wiggle between jumps. See that little bit of wiggle? Little bit of wiggle. It's hard to see on this, but a little bit of wiggle, jump. 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 Really good. Really good. Sounds are 10 out of 10. I mean, seriously, amazing sounds. When you get it going to where you're not losing, it's not falling apart all the time, it's so satisfying and fun. What I try to do is kind of put it flat, and I'll put pressure down so it stays flat, so it doesn't put any pressure on the edges. I try to do that and then go around. So my thumb's almost like perfectly flat. I try to level the coin in my fingers, basically. But you know how it is. You just want to start fidgeting, and then you do this, and you get into it. And it's working great. See, I got it down now. And then it comes apart. And, a lot of people will say I'm just too rough with it. It's not meant to be manhandled like that. But that's just what I want to do with my coin, So this is a me thing, probably, partially. I don't know. You guys let me know if this is something that, you prefer in a coin too or not. And maybe right-handed, it's better. I don't know. I don't really use coins right-handed. This feels really good, actually. Huh. No way. Oh, look at that. On this side, it comes right out. Oh! Okay, so hang on. This side feels smoother. No. Look at that. It's popping up on this side. So let's just try it this way. No. Which side is this? So this is the ball side. So that makes sense if you're holding it like this. Because if anything, you're putting pressure, you're putting the ball in more. Where on this side, you might be sliding it out of there. I don't know. I just don't think that ball should be the retaining point. I'm going to shut up about it now. But overall, it's really cool. It's a great looking piece. It does work really well if you're just more gentle. If you just do it like this, you know. And I think most people maybe use their coins like this versus like how I do. But so, and then this one is, oh man, you know, this one you have the ever so fun track, and I love the coin move. It's just so good. So there you go. Those are the Medusa coins from Compoform. Really appreciate Compoform for doing these pre-orders. And let me know what you guys think down below. These are some sexy coins. I mean, they're really nice looking. I think the price point was good. I mean, it's titanium, laser treated, made in Russia, fully custom, all that stuff. I think they were $260. You know, it's not cheap, but I don't have any issue with that price point at all. So I'm very glad that I got my hands on these, that I bought these. And we'll see, you know, we'll see if they stick around. I'll try to do a follow-up on them, you know, and let you guys know where I'm at. But I really want this to just stay together. That's all I want, is for this to stay together, because I like it so much. Look at that. Oh man. Yeah. I love it. I love it, Ivan. I love it. All right. I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. Shout out to Pluke. Love you, Pluke. Shout out to Ivan. Love you, man. Love your work so much. But I do need to be honest when, you know, things aren't perfect for me. And again, these are fully opinions. You know, I'm a bit of a brute. So I think that plays a part here. Take that into consideration. And this one, you know, the only downside I have for it really is the acoustic. It doesn't sound as coin-like as that one. And that's going to be something most people don't give a shit about. And honestly, I don't really care that much either, because of how absolutely satisfying this is in the hand. So, love you guys. Hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.